Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing well wherever you are. Sounds like Black Americans are becoming a punching bag to every immigrants who are coming to the United States, and this is something which has been happening for quite a number of time. From different immigrants across the world who come to the United States, they'll have a problem with Black Americans. I don't know why is this happening. Today, Black Americans are complaining about Latinos who are coming to the United States and trying to discriminate them, use the privilege of the white supremacy to discriminate Black Americans. And so this raises a number of issues amongst Black Americans themselves. So I want us to watch this video, and then we'll say something after it in the end of the day, because it ain't fair for Black Americans, because why will people pick on them out of every other out of every other people? So
this question is for a specific type of Latino, Latina, Spanish-speaking person. I have a question, and I'm not going off what I've heard, I'm going off what I've seen. Why do you feel that it's okay to hate Black people, especially Black men, and imitate Black men? Some of y'all use the N-word more than I do, yet you hate Black people, yet you constantly imitate Black culture. Please answer this question.
Does Mexico have Black people? Indeed, they do. There are over 1 million Black Mexicans here in Mexico. Most of them are going to be found in Guerrero and Oaxaca, in the coastal part, Costa Chica. Today we are in Corrientes, and here it says, "Welcome to a Afro-Mexican village." African slaves in Mexico were brought to work in silver mines, plantations, and domestic work. But in this case, mainly they were brought to work on cotton farms, sugar plantations, tobacco, and chili.
Why is every immigrant that comes to America find their way into the Black community to build their empire, their American dream on the Black nightmare? So we have got to change that reality.
How are immigrants living off Black Americans? Please tell me. A lot of immigrants, including undocumented ones, come to this country with nothing, literally nothing. And yet their tax contributions to this country is still greater than that of Black Americans. All Americans in general are waiting for handouts, talking about being oppressed because their college tuition isn't paid for. You got immigrants from all over the world, from every race, coming to America, being more successful than the average American, simply because they're not waiting for handouts. They're happy with just the ability to work. Most immigrants are just looking for an opportunity, and they make the most of it.
Comparing Black women to monkeys in 2023 is old and played out.
Vayan, cojan un plátano y súbanse en una mata, ¿ok? ¿Ok? Yo soy blanca, tú eres negra. ¿Te recuerda algo?
I already made this video in Spanish, but I'm making it again in English because this video needs to reach more people. It needs to reach the right people. Blatant racism is normalized in Latin America, but I truly hope that this video will reach people who will get her account banned. She has 3 accounts that I know of, but I'll keep y'all updated if I find any more.
Ustedes ven el mundo diferente, por eso viven en la pobreza y en la mediocridad. Yo soy blanca, yo estoy en Estados Unidos, soy ciudadana, tengo papel hace muchos años, vivo en un lugar muy espectacular, corazón, para yo fajarme con ninguna quincona de ustedes.
This lady is literally flexing her white privilege and the fact that she lives in the United States. Lighter-skinned Latinas like the lady in this video, who benefit from white privilege in Latin American countries, then come to the United States and are subjected to the same anti-Black and anti-Indigenous rhetoric from actual white people. Mind you, this is the same exact rhetoric that they spew towards Black and Indigenous people. And then they complain. Black people are disproportionately affected by white supremacist systems literally built to put them at a disadvantage. And that's the reason why they don't have the same access that this lady has living in the United States. And even though she has this access to resources and education, she is still one of the most uneducated and classless people I've ever heard speak in my life. Like I said, I already posted this video in Spanish. The lady from the video saw it, blocked me, and then proceeded to post a very colorful TikTok story, basically calling Black people the most sensitive group for reacting to her blatantly racist video. I am not addressing this video to that lady directly. I am rather addressing this video to TikTok users and TikTok moderators who blatantly suppress anti-racist and educational content, but let stupidity like hers fly. Why is that okay? And why does that type of content thrive here on TikTok?
A diferença toda é que chamam muita atenção.
Olha, eu vou falar uma coisa do tempo da minha avó, que já dizia para minha mãe, olha, é bom ter que achar um branco para se casar, que é para melhorar a raça. E isso continua até hoje.
There's a painting called the Rejeção de Camp. And the painting portrays the actual story of Brazil. So you have a picture of the dark black-skinned grandmother. She has her hands in the air. Next to her, seated, is her mulatta daughter. She obviously had a relationship with a white man, so her daughter is progressively lighter skinned. Next to the mulatta daughter is the Portuguese immigrant. He's white. And in the mulatta daughter's arms is the white son. So after 2 to 3 generations, the blackness of the family has completely disappeared. And so the black grandmother is giving thanks to God, like, thank you for moving this black stain from my family.
Que a minha família, eu falei, daqui uns anos, não vai ter mais ninguém da.
Because you keep saying we, you know, and it's like your kind of connection with the black community, but you're Cuban. Like,
I'm black first.
Yeah.
I'm black first.
So
what
I
always
ask,
tell
like,
people,
how you identify yourself.
Are you full Cuban? I'm full Cuban. I thought he was black too.
I know,
but I am black.
No, everyone thinks that you are like the black lineage.
All right,
like, you know, like.
Let me explain how it works. You know, this is another thing that I feel like we as black people get caught up in, that
semantics.
That separates us as opposed to uniting us. We get caught up in where the ship dropped us off versus where the ship picked us up. You know what I'm saying? We all come from the same root. It's just a tree with different branches. The same boat that picked up your ancestors picked up my ancestors. Only they dropped yours off here. They made a pit stop in the Caribbean and dropped mine off. But my ancestors still dealt with slavery. You know, still dealt with being, you know, having their family and their lives ripped from them, and having to come back from colonialism and slavery. You know, so, and it's not just African Americans, it's Afro-Cubans, it's Afro-Dominicans, it's Afro-Puerto Ricans. Like, all these people got to get out of their colonialized minds and stop thinking, oh, I'm not this, I'm this. Okay, yeah, you can be Latin, but you're black first.
And the separatism that takes us apart when we all have the same struggle. We all experience the same
100%.
struggle.
Because when I walk into a room, they ain't thinking, oh, we going to give him a pass because he's Latin.
Cuban, yeah.
Or if a cop pulls me over, he's not like, oh, okay, I'm not going to shoot him or I'm not going to beat his ass because he's Cuban. No, I'm black. You know what I'm saying? And I'm dealing with the same struggle. So we all gotta unite and fight for the struggle together, because we're all dealing with the exact.
He was from Mexico. We would talk on the phone and stuff like that, and his mother knew me. He didn't tell his mother that I was black. She asked what my name was. Oh, her name is Chloe. Oh, she has such a pretty name. I can't wait to meet her. And she just, the look, I will never forget that look. It's like I went to the bathroom and I started crying because I was like, she hates me. That following week, Christian said he couldn't talk to me anymore. And I was just like, why? I just don't like you anymore. And I was just like, okay. As we grew up and I changed school districts, I found out that it was the same thing, like everywhere, you know?
There's a phrase that we use. It is very common in Latin American countries. The phrase is mejorar la raza. Okay, mejorar la raza means improve the race. The way for us in Latin American countries to improve the race is by whitening it. When he brought this black woman with bad hair, you are not improving. You're worsening. You're degrading. You're downgrading our race. You're disrespecting our race because we're supposed to lighten it. If you get with a white woman, preferably, chances are that our next generation is not going to be as dark. It's going to be lighter. Hopefully, blue, green eyes. Oh my God. And the more that we get with each generation with lighter skinned people, the more we improve the race. That is so common in every single Latin American country. In every Spanish speaking country, mejorar la raza, it is a thing. Like the Nigerian in the video who said he wants a white woman because he wants white kids. You see, a lot of white women today, they feel so attractive because of all the attention they get from brown and black men. But what they don't realize is that when we as brown and black men in this particular case, we suffer from internalized racism. We hate our skin. A person who hates themselves, who hates their reflection, can't love somebody else. So don't feel so beautiful when a brown and black man is looking at you and is desiring you, because like the Nigerian guy said, when I asked him, why do you want a white woman? Because I want white kids. You see, he didn't mention anything about a woman's attributes, no passion, no nothing. His reason for wanting a white woman was, I want to eradicate my own race. You are only worth your womb for me to plant my seed so that my child could come out hopefully light skinned, meaning not ugly like this. You cannot think that you're being loved by somebody who suffers from self-hate.
This is always becoming an issue to different immigrants who are coming to the United States, forgetting that it is the Black Americans who have made it possible for different groups to come to Africa, you understand? But when now they find it convenient to them, they unite with black people. When it's not convenient to them, they say that they know black, you know. Take an example of Dominicans. What they do, they say that they know black Americans, they know black, you know. Latinos, we know black, and they discriminate black people. And this is because they use the ability, I mean, it's not an ability, but they use the advantage of the white skin, the white supremacy. So under the umbrella of the white supremacy, they get the privileges that a Native American, for example, Black American, don't get, but they get it because they have the white skin. You understand how that's unfair? An immigrant gets privileges because he is white, and you as a black person, you don't get find the privileges because you are a black person. You understand how that it's so unfair? And people are always picking on black people. I don't know why. I don't know why this keeps on happening, including fellow African immigrants who go to the United States. I don't know, is it a way that these people just put other people to be so repellent to black people? Some people don't want even to engage in business with black people. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know why it got messed up. There's a video that I did. I had some Latinos complaining that it is so hard to work with black Americans, and they'll rather hire other Latinos who are in the United States rather than providing job opportunities to African Americans or black Americans who are in the country, who are the natives of the country, as people know. You understand that? It is so sad that everybody today, as long as they have a white skin, when they go to the United States, the people will they pick on, or the people will they discriminate because of the color, is black Americans. Looking back historically, trying to understand the achievements that black Americans, that blacks in the United States have done, we having me seeing everything which is glowing, and everything, including the economy, purchasing power, and everything. We're coming to see that black Americans have played a major role, but at the expense of them being served in their own country, being feeling like they're in their own country, being experiencing what patriotism means, being feeling how to be represented as a black community in the United States. They don't feel the same. Rather, they are picked up by other people. Other people take advantage of them. Not Latinos. I mean, different groups when they come to the United States, as long as, especially when they are light skinned, it is the black person who is being picked. It is the black person who they blame. It is the black person that they say that they can't do business with. Make it make sense, brothers and sisters. Why are these people always keep on picking on black people? And I understand, probably I'm in Africa. I don't understand. I do watch everything which happens, and I understand. And as a black person, as an African, I could say that it's not fair, because I can't even feel well, because if a person comes to my own country, for example, Kenya, they come to my country, and now that they have some privileges, me as a native, I'm not getting represented because they feel like they are of higher class as compared to who I am, and I'm the native, and I was born here in my country. You know, trying to let the situations make me understand that it's totally unfair for black people, who especially, they do these things to them. So I urge that all black people to, I mean, as I've always been saying this, because different groups that comes to the United States always try to find a way of picking on them. So what they can do is, this is the only asset that black people have, fellow blacks. And sometimes it always saddens me to see black people fighting against themselves, quarreling against themselves, killing against themselves, taking other people's business down. These things are always sad. When we are people who are looked down, when we are people who are being picked on, when things go wrong, people discriminate, black people in America, the only asset that they have, and this is something that I've always said and I'll say it again, and I won't be tired of saying it. This is something that they need to do. One, the only asset that you have, black Americans, is unity. You need to support each other. You need to buy on your own shop. You need to buy your own business. Employ your children. Employ your friends, because these other groups won't employ them. They won't employ them. I've done a couple of videos, a couple of series explaining this, because I know I don't live in the United States. I know for sure you have that. But this is globalization. Today's world, everything is visible. So I know what I'm saying. Guys, please, if you have a chance of employing your brother, if you have a chance of employing your friend, if you know something which is important to your brother who is black, kindly inform them. I know some people will come and say that this is a black supremacist channel, and I do promote black supremacists. If I try to measure the amount of harm that white supremacy have done to people, leave alone even the black community across the world, you understand that it's so much heavy. So it doesn't make any sense if a person comes to say that this is a black supremacist channel. No, it's about encouraging our black brothers in the United States and every black person across the continent. So this information, we disseminating them to tell you that you need to be so vigilant. You need to look, because for instance, for black Americans who got everything going well, they don't see this problem. But especially black Americans who are struggling in the United States, who maybe are struggling to make both ends meet, that the people who encounter these people and they face this racism. Imagine a person coming to your country telling you that, I've done better than you, and I can do much better than you in your own country. It feels bad. It doesn't feel well. And it's even not fair. It's even not fair, because they are favored by the system, taking a given group down instead of you, a person who is there, who should be enjoying your country, things that are happening in your country. You should be the number one priority. Rather, you are the fourth, fifth, sixth. You're being put down there. They don't even care about you. So you understand how it goes. Guys, tell me what you think in the comment section about these issues. It is also unfair. Even me talking as an African, I have to talk about this, because, well, these people do this outside there. So what can we do? Tell me what you think about this in the comment section. It's about learning and trying to talk about disseminating these issues, reaching our black folks everywhere, to them to be vigilant, So until then, peace, love, and harmony. Please ensure to comment. Tell me what you think. If you watch this video for the first time, you can consider subscribing to my channel on my way to 5K subscribers, so that I can keep on bringing you this content, at least talking to you, encourage you with things which are happening across the world concerning black people. This channel was mainly created for you, black person. It was to serve you, black person. It was to inform you, black person. And tell me what you think in the comment section about everything which is always happening. Consider subscribing to my channel. You can join my membership. I don't have any member. I will be proud if I find my first person who joins my membership, at least just trying to talk to them. Yep, I'll appreciate that. Until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute.